Hello, everybody. This is Mike from Nymphs, Knots, and Nonsense, and today we are tying a sexy waltz worm. This is an incredibly simple fly, Euro nymphing fly. It's got this heavy bead on it. It's got some extra weight inside of the fly. It's got a little bit of brightness through the wire that we have, and it's got some hare's ear with a little bit of antron. Incredibly simple tie to fly. In fact, that's maybe the reason why it's so cool is that it's simple to tie, but it's incredibly effective. Like, honestly, you put anything in hare's ear, it will catch fish. Materials for this fly are as follows. You'll need a hook. Today I am using a Mustad Alpha Point. It's an S82 AP, so it's a heavy nymph hook. This one you can't read it, but today I'm tying a size 14. You need beads. I'm using a fulling mill tungsten bead, metallic brown. I love that metallic brown color, and it's 2.4 millimeters. You need thread, of course. I have my trusty fluorescent orange ultra thread in 70 denier. I actually keep this on this bobbin constantly because I use this for hot spots on a lot of flies. I just keep this thing, keep it in my fly tying kit. Don't worry about it when I need it. It is there. You will need some kind of dubbing. Today, I'm using Hare-Tron dubbing. I like the Hare-Tron. It's hare's ear, so you have the guard fibers, you have the fuzzy parts of it, but then they add antron to it, hence Hare-Tron. And that antron gives it a little bit of shiny here and there. I love it. Today, I'm using this color right here, this light olive brown. But if I flip this over, you can see I've got a lot of other colors. I've got a regular olive over here that might work pretty well. There's a golden stone that you could use. I would even say try this up here. This is a cinnamon caddis. And then there's a gray, which is a little bit darker color. Any of those would work great for this fly. You need a wire. I have a Cibai. This is wide, medium, flat wire. So it's like a linguine. It is very thin one way and very wide the other. Okay? And so that lays down nicely, but it's a little bit harder to helicopter off because of how thick it is. I added some weight. This is my infamous lead-free weight. I don't know what size it is. I think it's a medium to small size. And to top this fly off, I've got my Loon Outdoors fluorescing UV clear fly finish. So UV fly resin, but it's fluorescing. So when you hit it with the torch, the UV torch, or sunlight, or a lot of other things, it gives it that little bit of extra glow that sometimes fish might find. It gives me a little bit more confidence when I fish with it. So I use this on a lot of my nymphs. Okay, let's tie this guy. So I'm going to start with my orange thread and just get that started and clip it off. Pretty common stuff so far. Next thing, take a piece of lead-free weight. I'm going to stick that into the bead. Don't stick it out the front like that. I'm going to stick it in the bead just to fill up a little bit of that recess in the back. And then I'm going to wrap over the top of that. Whoop, went sideways on me. Place it. Okay. And that's okay. And I'm going to go back just a little bit here. Take my thread up to the front there. And I'm just going to wrap this. This guy's going to be a heavy character. Make a couple wraps in there. Like that. Maybe two more. And done. That just came out to be nice, so I didn't need to cut it. That is not intentional. It's just the way it worked. I'm going to wrap some over that just to anchor it in so it doesn't travel on me. And I'm going to go back to behind that weight. Take my Sabari wire, or take my Sibai wire, and I'm going to take the end of that, and you'll see my usual trick. Just give it a little crimp on the end there so it doesn't pull out. Gives it that good bite for the thread. I'm going to tie that in. Okay, and I'll hold it up at a 45-degree angle. That way, as I tie it in, it stays right on the spine of that fly. I take it back and throw that into my material clip here. So it's just hung off, and now I have both of my hands again. The next step is to take some of my Hare-Tron dubbing. Now you need a chunk of it, and that's way too much. So I'm going to take a chunk about like this. It's not a lot. And I'm going to just make a dubbing noodle on that thread. Twist that on, slide it up, and I'm going to start wrapping that. And I'll run out of it, and that's okay. When I get done, I'll add some more. I'm going to add another chunk in. Now, for smaller flies, I like to make smaller little dubbing noodles, and then as I go, I will just keep adding to it instead of making one big one and break off the end. That's just the way I am. Do what works for you. Another chunk on there. That one's way too big. Wrap it on there, and it doesn't have to be tight. So sometimes with dry flies, you want your dubbing to be really, really tight. With this one, it's okay if it's loose. And also, if you need to, you can add wax, but just a little bit. Always with wax. A little dab will, in fact, do you. Okay, now I'm up to the end here. I'm just going to pull the fibers back, take a couple wraps there behind the bead, and good. Take that thread, throw in a half hitch there. Bring up my bobbin cradle, place that. I take my wire here. I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to start wrapping. And what I want is, with this one, I want about 1 width of wire in between wraps. You'll see that as they go on. And I literally just hold the whole spool in my hand and palm that, and then twist the vise rotary style in order to add that wire. And now I'm back around there to the end. I will tie it in. Got a little bit crazy over there. Okay, bring this back down. Thread down a little. Thread out of. Okay, when I put that on, it didn't go flush the way it should. Okay, so there we go. 1, that's 2 wraps, 3 wraps, 4 wraps, 5 wraps. And now you'll see I've got right there where it overlaps that wire. I just want to hold the wire out and cut it off. The wire cutters, and this stuff you have to actually cut. You can't helicopter it off because it's a lot thicker. So you see, as I pull it up here. See, there's thick, and then it goes to thin. But that thickness is just a little bit too much to helicopter off. I don't have good success with it. I'm just going to take that little nib that was there and push it down so that it fits in nice with the thread. And now I'm just going to go a little bit crazy with thread here to make a little bit of an orange head on this thing. And then give that a half hitch. Okay. And give it a 3 wrap whip finish. 2 that in. Okay. And give it another 3 wrap whip. 1, 2, 3. In. Thread, give it the wiggle. And I am ready to cut that guy off. Okay. Now I have my UV fluorescing. Resin. And I usually apply this rotary style. Put that on over the thread. Cap it up so it doesn't get hard in the tip of that little nozzle. And I am going to give it my UV torch. Rotate it a little. And that is good. And then 1 or 2 last steps, depending on how well the first step works. Take my multi-brush here, brush forward a little bit, pull out some fibers, brush down. Okay, pull some of that out. And then sweep it to the back. Okay, and that is a nice waltz worm. Okay, same thing, but zoomed back. Oh, let's start our thread, cut it off. Add our lead-free weight. Behave. Okay, start to wrap that. Cut that guy off. Drop the weight down inside with my fingernail. Wrap over that so it doesn't go anywhere. Okay. Take my cibai wire. Give it a crimp. Place that and tie it in. Holding it up 45-degree angle. Wrap back to the bend of the hook. Place that in my material spring. And I have to do a little bit of maintenance because that thing got. Okay. Next thing is my Hare-Tron dubbing. Make a noodle here. Slide it down to the fly and wrap. Okay. That in. Put some more Hare-Tron down here. Okay, wrap, wrap, wrap. Anything crazy, just a little bit. Okay. Now pull all the fibers back and give it a couple wraps. Hitch, so that way we can go to rotary. Use our bobbin cradle comes up and place our bobbin in the bobbin cradle. Okay. Hold our wire here. Gotta take out all that excess. Okay. Hold our wire, and usually I hold it up or towards me so that way I can look over the top of it and see what I'm doing. You want one wire's width in between because this is a thick wire. So one wire's width in between wraps. And if you see that it's wrong, just pick it up so that reverses out some of that wrap and then put it back down the way that you want it. You bend the material to your will, not the other way around. Okay, and here I am. Give it 4 good wraps over that to hold it. You'll also know right here with my finger, I'm holding pressure on that. So as I wrap, all right, because I'm wrapping loosely with my thread, that pressure, that downward pressure here keeps the wire just behaving properly as I give it wraps over the top of it. That way it doesn't loosen up and make this spot right in here. Let's see, here's a pointer here. That doesn't make, that way with that pressure, this spot right here where it goes underneath the thread, that doesn't get loose. All right, now I've got 4 or 5 wraps over the top of it. Just want to cut that off. And you'll see, if I flip this around here, you'll see there's a little nub right there. Okay, you'll see that sticking up right there. Okay, and so what I want to do is just take my thumbnail and I just push it down up against the wraps with my thumbnail. So now you'll see here, it sits down a lot flatter. And then I will wrap over the top of that. That was incredibly easy. I gave it 2 wraps, 3 wraps, and it disappeared, which is great. I'm going to give a little bit more up onto the bead here. That nice little strip of orange at the head. Give it a half hitch. Three wraps for a whip finish. 1, 2, 3. Wiggle that like this to tighten it up. Make sure it's tight. And another 3 wrap. 1, 2, 3. Okay, got the wiggle. Cut off my thread. Give it some UV resin. Give it in the round. This is the easiest way I've found to do resin, which is you go full rotary with your vise and you use this nozzle here on your UV resin tube. What is this? I guess it's a tube. And also the rotary works when you want to cure it, when you hit it with the UV torch. Okay, 1 or 2 additional steps. The first step, which is compulsory, is to take this and hit it with a brush. In this case, I have my Swiss CDC. It's a Swiss CDC multi-brush, like that. It's got this nice soft brush on the end of it, so I can hit, pull out some fibers. So I'll give it up and down against the shank of the hook there. Okay, so you can't see necessarily what I'm doing, but I'm going towards the camera, away from the camera, or up and down, right? So to pull fibers that are trapped underneath that wire. And then the last step is you want to sweep it to the back in order to give it that nice fuzzy look and just give it a little hand prune. So that way the fibers sort of streak to the back. I just like the effect. Is it effective without? Yes. I just like it when the fibers sweep to the back. And that is a sexy Walt worm.